Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of this course. In this video, we're going to be talking about the usage of Adobe Photoshop for UI UX design. You as a UI UX designer may need to edit your images in order to use them in your project properly. Okay, so there are some modifications that you cannot do in Figma, and it's a good idea to process them in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can use Adobe Photoshop for editing your images. Okay, so without further ado, let's open up our Adobe Photoshop. Alright, as you can see, I have downloaded an image of this shoe from unsplash.com in order to show you how you can separate any object from its background in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so suppose that we are designing a shopping application and we need to have some shoes in our shopping lists. Okay, so in this case, it's better to separate this shoe from its background and then save it as a PNG file, and then you can import it in Figma. Okay, so there are different ways you can do that. You can use different selection tools. For instance, you can use the magic wand like this. It works in some examples, but first of all, let me show you something. As you can see, this layer is called background, okay? And we cannot do anything when it's locked. So in order to unlock that, you can double click on this layer. For example, set a name. It doesn't matter what it is. You can set it to shoe, and now it's unlocked. So you can make changes. And I'm gonna click on delete like this. As you can see, we don't have any background here. However, you need to make sure that the background has been removed completely. For instance, here, as you can see, we have some white space. So we need to once again select this white space and click on delete like this. Now, in order to show you what's the difference here, I'm going to create a new layer and let's call it BG as our background. And I'm going to move it down right below our shoe layer. And let's press Command A or Control A in Windows, and then let's choose a different color, for example this one, and press Option Delete. There we go. As you can see, we could easily change the background's color. Okay, so I can also remove the background and save it as a PNG file and import it in Figma and use that. So you could have more possibilities to work with this image. But there are some images that you cannot use the magic wand easily for separating your specific object from the background. Okay, let me undo these processes. In that case, you can use other tools. Okay, for instance, you can use the magnetic lasso like this, and you can select your object easily and perfectly. You can also use the pen tool, which is the best option possible because you can get a precise selection of your object. However, it takes more time. And here, after selecting two different points, you need to hold Option key and press on this point like this and select a new point and so on. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to show you another example of using Adobe Photoshop for modifying your images. Sometimes you may need to change the color of your product. Okay, so first of all, let me select the background and remove that like this. And suppose that I'm going to change the color of this shoe. Okay, it's a little bit difficult because it's too dark. However, I'm going to try it out. First, let's create a new layer. Then I'm going to select the whole shoe. How can we do that? You can hold Command key and click on this square here. And as you can see, it's selected already. Then make sure that you have selected the new layer and change a different color. For example, blue color. Then choose the brush tool. Okay, like this. Let's paint all of it like this. Now it looks strange, but in a minute you can see how amazing this technique is. So as you can see here, we have two different layers. Okay, here we have the blend mode and we have different options. If you select color, you can see that our object's color has been changed perfectly. Okay, and it is fantastic because sometimes you as a UI designer need to have different versions of a specific product, but it's not available on the internet. So you can create your own. Now suppose that you want to change its color to something else and you want to see hundreds of options. Instead of choosing each color one by one, I have a good solution for you. If you go to adjustments, you can see that we have different options. Okay. However, if you click on hue saturation, you can change the hue easily. And as you can see, the color of our shoe is changing instantly. It's amazing, isn't it? And for saving your file, you can simply press Command Shift and S. And then here you can set a name, for example, shoe. Then you can choose the specific format you need. Here we have plenty of formats. However, when you want to use this image without background, you need to choose PNG. Okay, then click on Save. Okay, and it's done. Now you can import this PNG file into your Figma project. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.